I have a question for the really smart people here. Does God have a God? Now, I'm going to approach this question from a scientific point of view, but not from a religious point of view. So let's say, for instance, we don't know the answer to that question, okay? So let's say God is here, or maybe somebody is here that created humanity, okay? And then there are humans here, okay? So we now know that humans are intelligent, okay? And humans have created a new kind of intelligence that is called artificial intelligence. Okay, we've created AI, and this AI now has an intelligence of its own. How did it develop the intelligence? It studied the body of human knowledge and now has a mind of its own. Now, in fact, I think last year or last 2 years, a Google employee that was working on Google Artificial Intelligence made a tweet saying that Google Artificial Intelligence has now gained the consciousness of a 7-year-old that is now as smart as a 7-year-old human. And this was last 2 years or so. Google considered it a breach of privacy and they fired him. Now, I think he has started his own AI firm or something. But this guy working on this was able to be convinced that this thing is now as smart as a 7-year-old. So which means, think about it, right? In the next 20 years, that artificial intelligence that was as smart as a 7-year-old will be as smart as a 100-year-old human. In fact, this artificial intelligence is able to beat human beings in certain unique tasks. The latest one that they launched now is smarter than PhD students, like far smarter than PhD students. All right, in certain specific areas. But we don't have a general intelligence yet, artificial general intelligence. We don't have it yet. But best believe it's going to come soon. So let's say this AI now builds a new AI. So human beings created an AI. And when we give the AI a problem, if we give it a problem, let's say we give it a unique kind of problem, that the only way it can solve it is to create a mini AI that will tackle that specific problem. So this AI writes code, creates a mini AI within itself, and to create this AI, it has to create an AI environment for it. And this new mini AI in this AI environment picks up this problem and tackles it. Let's say this AI environment is large, all right? And instead of creating one mini AI, it creates 8 billion of them. 8 billion mini AIs to tackle this problem. And after a while, they come up with a solution. Now we have humans, AI 1 and AI level 2. Now this AI level 2, to them, AI level 1 is God, because they'll be asking like, who created this environment we're operating on, 8 billion of us, you know? Who created it? Who gave us this consciousness, this intelligence? It must have come from somewhere. And then they say, oh, it must be AI at level 1. All right? Now this AI at level 1, we'll be looking at them and be laughing, but at the same time, the AI level 1 will believe that humans that created this AI is God to them. Do you understand? So to it, humans are super intelligent, all-knowing, all everything, because we're way smarter than it at the AI level. So to that AI, we are God. Now let's go up. To us now, at least to some humans, okay, they believe that this whole environment we live in, the platform of existence in science, that's basically the universe, space, time, energy, and matter that made up this thing fundamentally. Believe this environment we're living in and we that are living in it must have been created by somebody. And to me, it's actually a smart argument to make. But we don't know it, all right? Just like the AI at level 1 will not know humans per se. But somebody can make the argument. Something else must have created it. Now the question is, let's say something else actually created it. How are we sure it's one thing? And how are we sure that nothing else did not create that? Do you understand where I'm going with this now? So far, what you have seen is in nature, nature does not have um, something that is unique. Nature abhors uniqueness. There is nothing in nature that is the one of its kind. When you talk about planets, we have many planets. Initially, we thought Earth was the only planet. Then we discovered Mars, Mercury, and so on. We thought there were only 9. Now we have thousands. We have discovered almost 3,000 planets. 8 within our solar system, but then around within 300 light years from Earth, we've discovered over how many thousands? And we can now estimate that the number of planets on our galaxy alone is uncountable. If the stars in our galaxy are up to 250 billion, we have been able to observe 250 billion stars within our own galaxy. So if each star is surrounded by 10 planets or 9 planets like the sun, the number of planets are uncountable. And then our galaxy is just one of trillions of galaxies in our supercluster. And our supercluster is one of trillions in the universe, observable universe. So, but this is an environment. If we take it to be a simulation, something must have created it. But then, knowing the way things work so far, if we keep going down, we'll notice that there is nothing unique. For everything you can see in existence, there's always a copy of it. In fact, millions of copies of it. There are millions of ants, millions of dogs, millions of cows, millions of mountains, uncountable number of sand, different kinds of oceans, a whole lot of things. There's nothing that is unique in nature. Even water we found on Earth, we have found water outside Earth. Like in asteroids, and we have found ice in space. So, we have 8 billion humans on this planet, right? How are we sure that when, assuming that there's something that created everything, a god or something to us, because whatever created us must have been a god, right? How are we sure that it's only one? What if it's a whole planet of gods? Or a whole environment or simulation of gods? And they too, how are we sure that they were not created by something else? Now, if we look at this and we call them simulation levels, you'll see that how are we sure that it's not infinite? Simulation, creating simulation, creating simulation, creating simulation. One thing we are sure of, right, is that we are towards the front of it. Like a car moving, all right? We don't know where, we know where we are sitting in the car because we are seeing the front. We are seeing the front. Do you understand? So we have just created a new AI. So we now know that we are the front of it, at least in our own direction. Okay? So we created AI, and the AI is creating another AI. Now that we are sure that we are the front of it in our own direction, because we just created AI a decade or two ago, how sure are we that we are not at the back of it too? Do you understand? At the beginning of the whole simulation, because religious people would tell you, that's the whole religious argument, at least Abrahamic religions, that we are really at the beginning too. That is, we have God that was not created, and we're the very first simulation. Do you understand? Then we have AI. So it's just like three levels as at today. That's the argument of religious people. Well, scientists are theorizing that even if this exists, there must have been more, and there will still be more. So why are they saying there must have been more? Because we know that there will still be more. So it's an interesting thought process. Of course, you know that there are counter arguments to it, because where we are now, we have no evidence of anything from here when it comes to scientific. We only have evidence of where we are. And also, the argument that whatever creates something must be outside of its environment is false. For instance, we human beings, we create cars. We're in the same environment with cars. Okay? But there are some things that we can create that we're not in the same environment with. For instance, we create cartoons. We watch cartoons in a TV. We are not in the TV. The TV is a level lower than us. It's 2 dimensions, while we're 3 dimensions. So we're able to create something outside of our environment. So if there is a being, what if that being is nature? All right.